In 2 games, USC has been outscored 26-6 in the fourth quarter. Fortunately, they came away with 1 win.
Putting the ball game away, when you have opportunities, you can't pass up opportunities. Certainly can't pass up opportunities when you play against Georgia and Arkansas and the schedule we play.
I just think we get a lead, and on offense, we just let things go. We just forget what's going on, and we're not consistent.
Obviously a disappointing loss to Arkansas, but if not for a last-second drive against Georgia, the team could be 0-2. It's time to take the road split, come back to Williams-Brice Stadium, and win big.
In terms of Louisiana Tech, we must respect this football team like any other opponent we play. They have played us extremely tough for the past 2 years.
I would like to come out and dominate and take it away, hopefully take it away in the first 2 quarters and sit down and drink some Gatorade.
Louisiana Tech is a team the Gamecocks should score on early and often. To do that, Coach Woods plans to use the 2-minute offense a lot more.
Yeah, that's fun for me. I can call some plays, and I mean we have running plays in our 2-minute offense, so it's great. I think you'll see it used more and more as we continue to play this year.
Reporting from Columbia, Ken Slats, 15 Sports. Both teams enter Friday's game with only 1 win. Early season jitters and inexperience are pretty much the answers for the struggle.
We knew going in that we didn't have a lot of depth, and of course some injuries have hurt us, but the kids still have a good attitude about playing, and they're practicing hard.
We've made a lot of young mistakes. Defensively, we played real well at certain times, and then we've given up a big play in every ball game. So I think that's the biggest challenge with us against Myrtle Beach, is not to give up the big play on defense.
The biggest concerns with the ball for Conway, the passing game. For Myrtle Beach, special teams.
Our kicking game hasn't been sound at all, and of course this is a very important part of the game, and it's something we work on every day, and we don't plan to snap the ball over the punter's head and things of this nature.
You know, Coach Shaw always has his hands full at the beginning of the season. Not just one big rivalry, but 2. Sockasty a couple weeks ago, and now Conway. But he also needs to use these games to tune up for region play.
You know, we feel like it prepares us for a region, and that's the thing that we're looking forward to. And although we're looking forward right now to Conway on Friday night.
When you play a Doug Shaw coach team, you better be ready to play. And Doug traditionally has been a slow starter.
But count on that speed picking up for this one. In Horry County, Ken Slats, 15 Sports. Louisiana Tech is not a top-notch team, but USC did do a lot of good things that the Gamecocks can use to build for future opponents.
We were able to make some plays, and I think that was positive. When you get reinforcement from making plays, people stand up and yell, and you score points and good things happen. It makes you want to be more aggressive in trying to make those plays.
One of our main goals going in was to have a shutout, and a 52-yard field goal. We felt we had to give him credit for kicking that, but defense, we really did our job.
While the defense was putting on a show, allowing just a 52-yard field goal, the offense was clicking too. Steve Tannehill threw for a career high, and listen to this, Brandon Bennett, more than 100 yards rushing and more than 100 yards receiving. First time ever for a Gamecock.
We were able to work a little run-pass combination according to the defense that Steve was selected one of the 2 plays and did a really fine job of it, and Brandon happened to be the guy in the ball game early, and he started catching it and got hot, so we just left him in the game.
I think when we did pass, they were worried about our receivers so much that, Brandon and Mike, they all had a lot of yardage catching. So I really think we take what the defense gives us. We usually try to start out running the ball, though.
And if the Gamecocks solidify the run early Thursday night, then we might see much of the same on offense. In Columbia, Ken Slats, 15 Sports. Friday's matchup kicks off region play. Hartsville, the defending 4A lower state champions, are again the team to beat.
There's no question about it that they have done an excellent job this year. They've got some good players coming back, and it's going to be a tough football game for us, but I think our kids are ready to play.
And yes, they better be ready, The Red Foxes have very few weaknesses.
Well, we're going to have to get better offensively. We've got to find a way to move the ball more consistently and take advantage of scoring opportunities. We've been a little disappointed in some opportunities we didn't score.
On the other side, well, deceiving. Marlboro County had a tough non-region schedule, and it shows. Obviously a frustrating time for Coach Sharpie. No wins in 4 tries, but this team is much better than their 0-4 record. Don't let them fool you. They're going to let it all hang out Friday night.
They're probably the best 0-4 team in the country and have a lot of skilled people. They have some big offensive and defensive linemen, and they're just ready to bust loose. We hope they wait one more week before they do it.
It's particularly frustrating this year because we haven't been blown out in football games. We've played every game close except maybe the Pageland game. But the confidence level is not really down that far, and I think we can get it back up.
And Friday night, we'll see just how much the tough schedule has prepared the Bulldogs. Ken Slats, 15 Sports. Frustration just about sums up last night's loss to the Wildcats, a loss that shouldn't have been.
It's a big blow anytime you lose a game. You only have 11 opportunities a year to play, and anybody that plays this game and plays in the Southeastern Conference hates to lose.
This one got away in the 4th. The Gamecocks led 17-14, and Coach Woods took a gamble.
We had the ball at midfield after a good kickoff return. I wished I hadn't called the reverse. I wish I'd gone ahead and run the football at them, and we ended up punting, and then they did had a great drive and took it down and scored.
The Gamecocks had 2 shots late in the 4th quarter to score in this end zone. The first drive ended with a Brandon Bennett fumble. The second time, well, it was up to quarterback Steve Tannehill. This time he didn't respond.
The play is designed to go to Mike, but he got covered up pretty well, so I came back to Toby, and he was open a little bit earlier, and I threw it, and I just let him too far. And, it's just a mistake I can't make in a big game.
I think we'll see where our mistakes kept us from winning, but I think we'll also see a lot of great plays made by our football players.
The Gamecocks now have 8 days to prepare for defending national champion Alabama. In Columbia, Ken Slats, 15 Sports. USC entered 93 with all kinds of confidence. Let's face reality. Thursday's loss to Kentucky might just have pierced the Gamecocks' ego.
We certainly can be more disciplined in terms of responsibility. We can't dwell on the Kentucky game and the what-ifs, and we must turn our focus now to Alabama.
That's the Crimson Tide, number 2 in the nation, a team that hasn't lost in 28 games.
I don't see any weaknesses. I think they're solid all the way across. I think they're a team that if you're going to beat them, you've got to block them and you've got to tackle them.
They have a great defense. Their secondary is real good and real fast, and they disguise coverages. Their linebackers seem to play well. Their down men are solid.
I think we're going to have to just go in there and play the best game that we possibly played this whole year. And from last year and all the years, really to beat Alabama right now.
Now, the last time the Gamecocks were underdogs was way back in Week 1 against the Georgia Bulldogs. Of course, they came away with a stunning victory in that one. Maybe that's just a role that this team prefers to play.
I love being an underdog. I saw today we're 13.5-point underdogs. So that's great. I think our confidence will be all right. Playing in front of national TV, you can't let your confidence get down.
Reporting from Columbia, Ken Slats, 15 Sports. For Lake City, 93 has been great. The lone loss to 4A Socastee. For St. John's, 93 has been a struggle.
I think right now our inability to do some of the things that maybe we thought we'd mature a little bit earlier in what we have. I think right now we're looking at a lot of youth on the team, and the past couple of weeks we've been playing awfully young.
Most high school football teams seem pretty young this year. It's hit St. John's rather hard. Although Lake City has had a very successful season, it's something they're concerned about as well.
We're making too many, mental mistakes out on the field on Friday night, jumping off sides, things like that. got a lot of kids playing that hadn't had a lot of experience. So those things are getting better each week, but that's been frustrating at times.
Frustrations aside, the Panthers are quick, something Coach Harley is well aware of.
You know, they got a lot of speed, and that's one of the things we don't have much of. And so, you know, we're just going to have to neutralize that speed a little bit.
Just looking at St. John's on film, they're a very good football team. Got good size, some good skilled people, and, you know, we'll have to play a real good football game to stay out there with them.
Friday's game is the Region 6 3A opener for both schools. Ken Slats, 15 Sports. The Gamecocks are midway through their SEC schedule, just one conference win, and that came back in week 1.
Losing causes you to not have good feelings. You know, losing causes you to, you know, have bad feelings, and so we're struggling with losing. We're focusing on what is reality about the progress of our football team. We recognize the improvement on that, building on that, and trying to correct the mistakes of the other way.
Like Saturday, the Gamecocks have had a chance to win every game this year. If not for a missed play here or a missed play there, their record would be a lot better.
What I think is plain and simple. We're just not making the plays when we have to. I mean, we do a very good job of running to the ball. We try to make things happen. I mean, our heart is there 100%. But in order to be a great defense, you have to make plays.
After the performance against number 2 Alabama, the Gamecocks appear to have postseason potential, but time is running out.
I don't know how bowl selections are made. I mean, you got to win. We don't play any 1AA team, so we have to worry about not mattering if we beat one of those or not. So everybody on our schedule counts. So we want to win. We want to win this ball game.
And this ball game is against East Carolina Saturday in Columbia. Ken Slats, 15 Sports.
I just feel that at this particular time in my career, I've reached the pinnacle of my career. I've achieved a lot in that short amount of time, if you want to call it short. But I just feel that I don't have anything else for myself to prove.
And the proof is in numbers: 9 seasons, 3 NBA crowns, and 7 scoring titles. Let's face it, Jordan was bigger than the game.
He has brought it to not only a very popular level in the United States, but globally, where people recognize not only him but everybody else in the league. So,
with Jordan, the league has grown to a new level. He'll be missed, but the NBA will survive. It always has.
5 years, people will be saying Michael who, and that's the way it is in this league. It's going to be someone's going to come out. Maybe it's Shaquille. Someone's going to come out and dominate, and the names on the back of the jerseys change. The league just keeps rolling on.
Jordan is a great player. The league's going to miss him. I'm going to miss him, and I'm just glad I had the opportunity to play with him for 1 year. Because when and if I have a child, like I say, son, I play with the great Michael Jordan for 1 year.
South Florence is coming off its first loss of '93, a 26-16 setback by Conway.
We played hard, but didn't play well, and that didn't please us. In the type of team we have, we must execute each night. We don't have superstars that if we're having a bad night, we can depend on them to just take the ball and go with it or whatever. So
it's a big game for them. It's their homecoming. It's a big game in the region. If they lose, they're 1-2, and we're 1-2. They win, they're 2-1, looking up. I don't feel like there's any pressure on us at all.
You know, Mike Watts over at South Florence has already solidified himself as a top-notch coach in Region 5 4A. The new kid in town is over at Wilson High School, Darrell Page, and he's well on his way toward earning that honor.
If it's old school, it's old school. It works and it's effective. You have to get your kids respect and their attention, and the football will come. Make sure they're doing the things they're supposed to do as people and as students. The football will come.
They've improved tremendously since we played them the first ball game. They're doing a lot more things, throwing the ball real well, which concerned us greatly.
Concerns aside, Friday's game of the week at Memorial Stadium will be a typical Florence matchup. Ken Slats, 15 Sports. USC hosts East Carolina. The Gamecocks have dropped the last 2 to the Pirates, and with this season's current struggle, maybe that savior, Steve Tannehill, has been brought down to earth.
I'd like for him to be more consistent. I'm not disturbed. I see him making some really good plays. I see him missing on some plays. So I think the key word there is consistency. So obviously we want to work to try to help his sophomore quarterback be more consistent.
Should the defense play as steady as they have all year, then the Gamecocks will even up their record to 3-3. Clemson travels to Durham, an ACC matchup with Duke, a team that is yet to win in the conference.
Duke has played in Knoxville, played Tennessee, they played Florida State. They've already played some darn good people. They know what the heck they're doing. So I think the biggest thing that they're just freewheeling and swinging at the hip on anything.
The Gamecocks led 7-0 in the second quarter. That lead was extended to 14-0 when backup quarterback Blake Williamson hit Terrell Harris.
I think it was great to get Blake an opportunity to play. I think that he played very well. I was pleased with his play as I watched Steve's play, and both of them led us to touchdown drives. And all, I think Steve's our quarterback.
Now, Tannehill's inability to put the ball into the end zone is the reason Blake Williamson was called on in the first half. Was Steve upset? Well, for the first time this season following a football game, Tannehill refused to speak to the media.
One time I don't show up, and it's not written in my contract that I have to be at every press conference known to man. So.
No, it's not. But by not talking, Tannehill left the impression that he was upset by being benched in the second quarter.
Coach said he was going to give him 2 series in the first half and probably 2 in the second. So I knew he was going to play. It's not like I was out there pressing anything. We just didn't capitalize on our opportunities we had.
I think he had a lot of family here and a lot of things to do, but I think that he was happy we won the game. I think he's happy that Blake played well, and I think that he's trying to help our team get better.
And as long as the Gamecocks win, it doesn't matter who takes the snaps. In Columbia, Ken Slats, 15 Sports. Monday night kicked off golf training for Special Olympics. A group of local pros have taken the honor to teach these athletes.
Just the love I have of the game of golf, and just wanting to give something back to the community and to the kids, and to teach something about what I know. I feel confident about teaching the game of golf.
The athletes learn about the game, but the golf pros learn much more.
You learn the basic emotions, the thrill of seeing a 4-foot putt go in. It helps me to see that renewed, because sometimes in my position I've taken that for granted. Not an awful lot, but
a lot of times you're sheltered from this in normal life, and a lot of times you shut it out, saying, "Hey, I really don't have that in my life, and I don't want it." And then when you're faced with it, you see how much fun it is.
It's local programs like this that keeps the Special Olympics going. It's also a great opportunity here at Pine Lakes Golf Club for a kid to go a long way.
In 1995, there will be a full contestant or full field in the National Olympics.
as a matter of fact, in Connecticut in '95, they're having the Special Olympic World Games, and golf will definitely be a part of that, and we'd like to see some of these people from Florence involved.
Whether they make it or not, it doesn't matter. An accomplishment has been made. Ken Slats, 15 Sports. No doubt, Yates Racing is one of the best in the business. Now, Ernie Irvin's behind the wheel to try and keep it that way.
Ernie's background is certainly is all racing and building cars, and his knowledge of, setting up cars was already excellent.
We've had a couple ups and downs, but definitely some, two good wins, and just
makes us really look forward to next year and be able to start on even kill with them all.
The Haviland Ford team searched hard for a driver after Davey Allison's death. Just 7 weeks, Irvin was in.
I'm here to do a job for Robert Yates Racing, and a lot of our thoughts are with Davey, and they're going to still be next year, you know, and the way we kind of look at it is which the way it is Davey's our teammate, and he's just not here with us, but he's here with us spiritually.
You know, the 28 car and Davey Allison pretty much went hand in hand. Well, Ernie Irvin has now taken over, and this season's ending might be a hint to come for next year.
Certainly, what's been going on lately, we certainly have a good feeling about next year. You know, we're not even hardly looking for this year to get over with now.
You just don't know about what's going to happen for next year until you get started on next year. But, you know, it was really fortunate that we got to be able to be together for 9 races this year, and hopefully we can win us another one before the end of the year, and we'll feel a lot better about it.
Whether they win one more or not in '93, count on Yates Racing to be a major contender in '94.